Hello, I'm Charles Taylor, your provost at the Health Science Center. Research Appreciation Day is a time-honored tradition at HSC, and I'm thrilled to be part of this year's event. RAD was created to celebrate and reward our exceptional students, faculty, and staff, and their dedication to the pursuit of discovery. The creation of new knowledge allows us to innovate and create solutions for healthier communities. As an institution built on values, Research Appreciation Day is a testament to our commitment of being curious and better together. Through science, we have life-saving vaccines, treatments for previously incurable diseases, and so much more. HSC is cultivating opportunities to learn, explore the frontier of healthcare research, and embody a spirit of innovation. RAD is an invaluable opportunity to highlight how we are working together to push the boundaries in our research initiatives while improving the lives of those in the communities where we live and work. I want to thank everyone who submitted abstracts this year. The level of competition was remarkable, and everyone involved should take great pride in their contributions. I'd also like to extend sincere thank you to the RAD team for all of their hard work in creating yet another memorable Research Appreciation Day at HSC. Thank you for joining us for RAD 2024. I'm already looking forward to next year and hope you are too.
So once again, here is the tell of it. Let me begin with a chapter from my own scholar's journey story. Lo, many, many years ago, when I was a graduate student, nearing the end of earning a doctorate, it was customary to put in some relevant quote as a preface to the final publishable dissertation. Often my fellow students would cite something from Einstein or Edison or some hip guru, maybe a science fiction writer, or even pull a line from a Bob Dylan song. Way too easy. The PhD means Philosophiae Doctor, which is Latin for Doctor of Philosophy. So, as a student of philosophy, I hunted for something insightful to start off my summary of destiny, discovery, and thought. I chose this passage from James Branch Cabell, the self-taught man of letters in the previous century. Quote, "What is man that his welfare be considered? He is an ape who chatters of kinship with the archangels, while he very filthily digs for groundnuts. And yet I perceive that this same man is a maimed God. He is condemned under penalty to measure eternity with an hourglass, to measure infinity with a yardstick. And what is more, he very nearly does it." At HSC, you and I are in the business of discovery, transformation, and becoming. But unlike the gods themselves, we toil as angelic apes, trying to understand what the university offers that can change, challenge, and surprise us. Even when we have better tools than hourglasses and yardsticks, we are still discovering. So to end that same dissertation, I recalled a line frequently used by many, allegedly attributed to none other than Sir Isaac Newton, the semi-humble genius of 17th century physics and mathematics, who said, "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants." So, succumbing to a burst of hubris and snark, I added my own quip. It is not enough to see further by standing on the shoulders of giants. It is also important to know in which direction to look. The scholar's journey is a quest, and because it is a quest, it isn't easy. If it were easy, everybody would be doing it. In StoryBrand, we learned that almost everything we do as scholars and scientists can be framed as a chapter in a quest story. Star Wars or Lord of the Rings are classic examples of quest tales. You have young heroes with a major problem to resolve and a brutally tough journey to make. A guide steps up to instruct, support, and help the hero find a better way to face their challenge and problem. And then the guide steps aside at key moments because the hero must face that decisive challenge by themselves and either achieve their goal or fail trying. And even with success, as one journey ends, another quest begins. It is, of course, a never-ending story. At HSC, each of you, whether student or faculty or staff, are on a quest of your own, or you are drawn into someone else's scholar's journey. Maybe you're the hero on this quest, or the guide on that one. Rarely the villain, I hope. Perhaps you are one of many in a fellowship, or a class, or a cohort, perhaps to become guides for next year's group, or maybe mentors for generations to come. Here at HSC, each of us is a discovery transformer in the scholar's journey. At any time, we are a guide or a hero in any given quest. And like that chattering ape, for us, this discovery of journey never ends. We never give up digging for the truth, seeking greater insights and helping others achieve. So if we do not stand on the shoulders of giants, we are at least leaning on them. And remember, it is still so very important to know in which direction to look. So be safe and enjoy your journey, your transformative quest.
Hello, I'm Dr. Dimitrios Karamichos. I'm the Interim Dean for the School of Biomedical Sciences. There are several places to consider for inspiration. First, attending public seminars at the department or school could spark nice ideas, even if they seem unrelated to your research. Chatting with other graduate students, reading, always considering the why. This means reading a lot and also means stopping more than usual in assumptions, hypotheses, and results for different papers to think about why these assumptions were made, why these results were interpreted a certain way. Always remember to capture the big picture. This usually will result in many whys for what you encounter. Finally, ask questions. Even if it seems silly and fundamental, questions for some can be the key for good ideas. My research is inspired by gaps in the literature. To me, it is fascinating to be able to get an idea after reading a lot of literature on a topic, identify the gaps in literature, then put together hypotheses and a plan to test it. While not always possible to execute such experimental plans or test all of your hypotheses, when you do get the opportunity to do so, it can be very rewarding. It is even more rewarding when your hypothesis becomes a project, when your project gives you solid scientific data, when your data becomes a novel concept in your field of research. I'm fully aware this does not happen often. It is still something I always look for in my research. People that work with me will tell you I'm a strong believer of no idea is a bad idea. Academic writing is an essential aspect of the academic world. It is a way for researchers to share their ideas, findings, and knowledge with others in their respective fields. Publishing is important as it allows researchers to disseminate their work to a wider audience, receive feedback, and contribute to the development of their field of study. By publishing your work, you communicate your theories and findings with colleagues as well as the public. This not only helps to advance your field of study, but also provides a way for others to learn from your results, your research, and build upon it. Publishing also plays a crucial role in the career progression for researchers. It is often a requirement for researchers to publish in order to advance their academic careers. Universities and research institutions use publication records as a way to evaluate researchers and determine their eligibility for promotions and tenure. This means that publishing is not just important for advancing your field of study, but also for advancing your career. Similarly, giving a presentation provides opportunities for visibility and profile building that are essential for career success. If people don't know about what you can do, how can you expect others to offer you opportunities? There are several ways to build a profile. Giving a presentation or publishing your work are just a few examples. Today, there is a huge global competition for jobs. You could be the best expert in your area of research, but if you can't articulate what you have to offer and engage your audience, then no one will know how good you are or what you can contribute.
Hi there, I'm Steve Mabry. I'm a fourth-year PhD candidate working with Dr. Rebecca Cunningham. The first thing I want to talk about is what the scholar's journey was for me as a student and how it helped me advance as far as I've been able to thus far. I have found that there are so many ideas out there that I would never have been able to find if it wasn't for going to conferences, both locally, nationally, and internationally, and experience the amazing research that everyone is doing. I have found that going through the infinite possibilities and trying to find the pieces that relate to what you are excited about, making those experiments, running them, finding the data, everything working the first time, every time, because that's how science works, and then taking all of those results, writing them up, and either presenting them to our peers or turning them into beautiful and perfect papers, again, the very first time, that allow us to communicate the science that is what we're all here to do. My experience with RAD really helped me find a comfort zone in talking about my science. My data always feels like it is 15 different things going on at the same time that there's no way to talk about in a 3 to 5 minute period. But RAD and similar presentations really force you to condense all of the amazing work you're doing into a simple and digestible amount of information. And if we're not able to communicate our science in a way that is easy for everyone to understand or can only be talked about in 5 minutes, then we're doing a disservice to all of the hard work that we're all putting in. I think that presentations, particularly like the ones that I did for RAD, really help allow you to find points of view that you in your bubble would never have considered. A lot of people, myself included, are afraid of getting questions that make absolutely no sense and don't seem to have anything to do with your data. But those viewpoints are questions that you might be getting from reviewer number 2, who may not be 100% familiar with your research, and you need to be able to answer those questions. It's a crucible that builds better scientists. If we're able to talk about our data to people that have no idea what you're talking about, or experts in your field that terrify you when you see them walk up to your poster. And it also allows us to find a way to talk about our data not just to the scientists, but your family or that person across the street who really needs the data that you are researching to help their life going forward.
The Center for Academic Performance at the University of North Texas Health Science Center at Fort Worth partners with HSC students to help them meet their personal and academic goals. Our services are designed to enhance any level of academic performance through academic consultations, learning strategies, and self-management. Students who work with us are able to meet with learning specialists to determine what their opportunities for growth are. Those areas may include, but are not limited to, study strategies, test taking, stress management, time management, focus, and motivation. Students have access to tutoring services for any course offered at the Health Science Center as well. We also offer writing support through CAP. The support focuses around grammar, flow, organization, syntax, and other elements important for professional writing. These services aren't typically offered to faculty and staff, but we do conduct workshops upon request. Workshops can cover topics such as stress management and self-care, burnout and motivation, or time management techniques. Faculty, staff, and student organizations can request a workshop by completing the workshop request form on our website. To schedule an appointment with a learning specialist, tutor, or writing coordinator, students can use Simplicity. For questions, please reach out to cap@unthsc.edu.
For the Texas College of Osteopathic Medicine, who seeks to change the way healthcare is delivered, Medical research plays a pivotal role in addressing healthcare problems in the United States, offering profound benefits that extend far beyond the laboratory. With the nation facing a myriad of healthcare challenges, ranging from rising costs to complex diseases, medical research serves as a beacon of hope, offering innovative solutions, improved treatments, and ultimately, a healthier population. Let me share several compelling reasons why medical research is indispensable in tackling healthcare issues in the United States. Firstly, medical research drives innovation and advances in healthcare. Through rigorous scientific inquiry and experimentation, researchers uncover new insights into diseases, develop novel treatments, and pioneer groundbreaking medical technologies. These advancements translate into tangible improvements in patient care, enabling healthcare providers to offer more effective interventions, reduce morbidity and mortality rates, and enhance overall quality of life for individuals affected by various health conditions. Secondly, medical research fosters evidence-based medicine, guiding clinical practice, and most importantly, healthcare policymaking. By generating robust data and empirical evidence, researchers equip healthcare professionals with the knowledge and tools needed to make informed decisions about patient care, treatment protocols, and public health initiatives. Evidence-based medicine ensures that medical interventions are grounded in scientific rigor, efficacy, safety, thereby optimizing health outcomes and minimizing the potential for harm. Moreover, medical research plays a crucial role in addressing disparities in healthcare access and outcomes. By investigating the underlying determinants of health disparities, such as socioeconomic status, race, ethnicity, and geography, researchers can identify strategies to mitigate disparities and promote health equity. From developing culturally tailored interventions to improving healthcare delivery in underserved communities, medical research serves as a catalyst for progress towards a more equitable healthcare system where all individuals have access to high-quality care. Furthermore, medical research plays a vital role in preparing for future health threats and pandemics. By studying emerging diseases and other public health challenges, researchers can develop strategies for disease prevention, surveillance, and response. The COVID-19 pandemic underscored the critical importance of medical research to mitigate its impact on public health and society. Medical research is indispensable in addressing healthcare problems in the United States, offering multifaceted benefits that encompass scientific innovation, evidence-based practice, health equity, health policy, and public health preparedness. By investing in medical research, we can harness the power of science to improve healthcare outcomes, enhance quality of life, and build a healthier future for generations to come.
I think that it's important for everyone to remember that their scholar's journey is unique. As soon as we can start engaging in our own personal journey, we'll have more confidence moving into our future. HSC has supported students in their scholar's journey through providing funding through the Center for Student Life so that students can go and present their research, network, meet new people, meet people who are interested in the same things as them, as well as additional funding from the Center for Institutional Advancement so that we can ensure that as many students as possible are able to have these opportunities. Publishing and presenting as a student is important, so that while we're here, we can do it with a lot more guidance. We can have mentors who will help us and walk us through kind of the new and confusing parts of research. So then we can figure out if it's something that we actually enjoy doing, and after we graduate, we can go and do it with confidence.
Now, most of us would agree that research can be both rewarding and challenging. One of the challenges relates to building a research team. Research teams of one or silos are often not as effective as our more larger collaborative teams. Working on research alone can sometimes strain the researcher to rigorously prioritize and lead to frustrations due to not getting research support. When researchers come together to work on a project, they can share feedback and experiences as well as set the context of what they're working on with peers. Peers can then provide meaningful feedback to support project goals, and forming an effective research team can truly help with the research process. Now, another challenge relates to dealing with data. Handling data can be overwhelming, whether it's qualitative or quantitative data. The research process includes managing and analyzing data, as well as paying close attention to detail. Now, to avoid those pitfalls, researchers can revisit their research context, continually review the research methodology, and listen to advice from mentors and advisors. And lastly, time management can be a challenge for researchers. It's not always easy for students and faculty to balance courses, co-curricular activities, teaching, data collection, and data analysis. For some, trying to balance these activities can feel overwhelming. I would suggest beginning with the end in mind. Before starting a research project, prioritize tasks, create a schedule, and develop a plan to manage your time effectively. Thinking about the research timeline up front will help you tremendously as you progress with your project. My background is in pharmacoeconomics, outcomes research, and managed care pharmacy. One particular area where we've seen breakthrough research is regarding real-world evidence for FDA accelerated approvals. Recent research efforts have focused on creating a data survey tool to make real-world evidence more readily available to healthcare professionals as they seek the drug approval process. As many of you know, real-world evidence is the clinical evidence about the usage and potential benefits or risks of a medical product derived from analysis of real-world data. Sources include medical claims, prescription drug claims, clinical trial data, EHRs from hospitals, and laboratory or cost data. The goal is to link surrogate endpoints used in drug development to meaningful clinical outcomes. Cancer is a good example. Given the rapid pace of scientific innovation, evidence generation in oncology with randomized controlled trials remains incredibly costly and time-intensive to conduct. Some biopharmaceutical companies will collectively invest $50 billion to support oncology research and development with approximately 3% probability of success for any individual product from preclinical to registration phases. Oftentimes, patients, providers, and payers lack answers to fundamental questions such as, what treatment is best for me? How do patients treated in the real world perform on this therapy? What is the value of this therapy relative to other treatment options? Real-world evidence provides a platform with which to close the evidence gap between clinical research and practice. These research breakthroughs not only enhance decision-making in healthcare, but also contribute to better patient outcomes. Publishing and presenting research is critical to help practitioners, the research community, and to improve patient care. For practitioners, publishing research demonstrates their commitment to advancing their field. Colleagues, peers, and potential collaborators recognize their contributions, leading to professional recognition and further collaboration to improve patient care. When researchers publish their findings in reputable journals or present them at conferences, it enhances the credibility of their work. Peer-reviewed publications undergo rigorous scrutiny by experts, ensuring the quality and validity of the research. By sharing their discoveries, scientists contribute to the collective knowledge base. Publishing and presenting also creates a permanent searchable record of scientific knowledge. This archive allows future researchers, students, and professionals to access and build upon existing work. In addition, sharing research findings directly impacts patient care. Practitioners learn about evidence-based practices, new treatments, and best practices through published research. Implementing these findings can lead to better outcomes for patients. We also know that effective communication between patients and healthcare providers is essential. When health professionals present information clearly and engage patients in meaningful conversations, patients become more active participants in their own care, and engaged patients are more likely to ask questions, express concerns, and make lifestyle changes that positively impact their health. By communicating research in compelling ways, researchers can raise awareness, influence policy, and promote understanding towards achieving better outcomes for patients. Bringing us back to the mission and purpose of the Health Science Center: to create solutions for a healthier community and to transform lives in order to improve the lives of others.
The best ways that I have found to start a new research project are I might find a grant opportunity, or I have an identified problem in my field that I want to find an answer or solution to for the community. Then I'll evaluate the literature and see if some gaps or findings need further explanation and develop the question that I'll investigate, considering how I'll go about investigating. Mostly that means by working with a specific population or analyzing a specified set of data. Research advances the field by finding answers to problems or developing tools to assist in overcoming barriers. My own research has developed tools to help individuals, providers, and organizations become more health literate. A current project seeks to find both the needs in our state and return on investment surrounding health literacy in Texas to advocate for health literacy legislation. Publishing and presenting are key to sharing the discoveries made or tools developed through research so that others can benefit or learn from your work. For example, Kate Taylor and I presented at the International Alzheimer's Association meeting and published our work with MedStar Mobile Healthcare to help them become age-friendly. We ended up getting contacted by Ireland, the country, to help them achieve the same milestones with their EMS.
This year's RAD theme celebrates a scholar's journey. An important part of that journey is publishing and presenting your work to others. As one of my mentors would say, if your work isn't published, it doesn't exist. The ability to effectively articulate and disseminate your work helps to build upon and advance knowledge. It also positions emerging scholars as active and productive contributors to their fields of study. It provides a platform for you to showcase your expertise, enhance your professional reputation, and increase opportunities for collaboration and career development. Publishing or presenting can give you the skills you'll need in the future. Scholars must be able to present their work and its impact in clear, concise, and compelling ways. The process of preparing and presenting your work hones critical skills such as synthesizing information, constructing compelling arguments, and most importantly, responding to critique. The ability to distill complex information into accessible formats for a variety of audiences is critical to closing what I call the no-do gap. In other words, if the scholar's work is to have societal benefit, it must be translated into effective application and action. Publishing or presenting is important for several reasons. It facilitates the exchange of knowledge and ideas, pushing the boundaries of existing understanding within a particular discipline. By sharing your research findings, you contribute to the collective growth of knowledge in your field. Disseminating research findings ensures that the outcomes of scholarly work are not only confined to academic circles, but are accessible to a broader audience, particularly practitioners, policymakers, and the general public. Because ultimately, the most important goal of your scholarly work is to improve the quality and conditions of life in society.
Welcome to UNTHSC Scholar, our institutional repository where your research and dissertations make a global impact. Are you a part of the UNTHSC community with groundbreaking work to share? It's simple to get your research noticed. Just email us at scholar@unthsc.edu. Complete the deposit form and our library staff will add your works to the collection. By publishing in UNTHSC Scholar, you're not just archiving your work, you're amplifying it. With specific collections based on author, program, and school, your research finds the right audience. UNTHSC Scholar has special collections, such as our Research Appreciation Day collection, which features abstract books containing all previous RAD submissions dating back to the original RAD in 1993. And if you're publishing in a journal, check your author agreement. You might be able to add your article to UNTHSC Scholar too. Our repository continues to grow, with over 1,100 theses, dissertations, and practicums that have been downloaded more than 53,000 times since 2019 alone. That's just part of our total 5,800 items, which have garnered 298,000 page views and 173,000 item downloads in the past 5 years. UNTHSC Scholar isn't just a repository. It's an open access gateway to discovery, community engagement, and preserving the rich history and innovation of the University of North Texas Health Science Center. Join UNTHSC Scholar today. Increase the impact and visibility of your work and be a part of a growing legacy.
We are delighted to launch our new College of Nursing at HSC. Nursing is the largest healthcare workforce, and nurse scientists are contributing to the body of knowledge and discovery in many ways. Nursing research merges science and compassion. Nurses are often closest to the patients and populations and communities we serve, so it's natural for the nurse to start asking the research questions and testing solutions to healthcare issues, such as how do we impact outcomes? How do we shorten lengths of stay? How do we improve the patient experience? And these strengths make nurses highly impactful in interprofessional research, for which we have wonderful opportunities to accomplish here at HSC. For my own scholar's journey, I have always been inquisitive. And for me, it's about how do we improve outcomes for patients and populations, particularly for the most vulnerable? And how do we increase access to care? And it takes all of us to accomplish that. Publishing and presenting is important because it's the best way for you to disseminate the work that you have accomplished. And my best advice for those of you presenting your posters or podium presentations today is to turn this work into a manuscript. As an HSC student scholar, you should share your accomplishments with others. So don't stop here. Continue the path to discovery and disseminate that work to others. You are halfway there, and dissemination of this presentation in a publication may serve as the building blocks for more breakthroughs in health and wellness.